Shimon, kosher kitchen, class number 4. We talked last time, that was like, I would say, July. Last class was in July 25. And you were talking about if I can use a microwave, for example, one microwave for halakhic and fleishik, okay? Meat and dairy. I'm going to use this term, halakhic and fleishik. Fleishik means meat, like flesh, it's in Yiddish. Fleishik. Halakhic, it means like milk. So, we mentioned that, for example, people working in office, and they're working with Jews, non-Jews, and the non-Jews putting non-kosher food. If I can use the microwave. So the microwave is relatively clean. You can put your food in a plastic bag and use it to warm your food. Okay? This kind of, what should I call it? Electrical devices, okay? Using a very special method, not the regular one that we all know, like fire or some sort of electrical element that heat up the food. It works on radio waves, something like that, and this is why the halacha is a bit different about it. Okay. Last thing we left off with is talking about a pan that is fleishik. It's baseri, okay? I use it for burgers, whatever. It's fleishik. Now it's clean. I took it and I put egg on it. Or I did a scrambled egg. Okay. I put it on my plate. And now remember that I did it on a fleishik pan. Can I eat it with cheese? Question number 1. Number 2, if I eat this scrambled eggs, do I need to keep 6 hours? Right? If you eat fleishik food, you need to wait 6 hours. Either it's chicken products or beef products, right? 6 hours. Now I use the pan. So, in both opinions, Ashkenazi and Sephardi, you don't have to wait 6 hours because you're not really eating anything fleishik. According to the Sephardi, you may eat it with cheese. Ashkenazi are more strict, they're machmir on that, and they won't eat these scrambled eggs with cheese. But yet, you are not supposed to wait 6 hours. Okay, so far so good? In the kosher kitchen, we're going to use some terms that you probably never heard before. And we're not going to do everything, all the halachot that relate to it, because there's so many of them. There's halachot of ta'arovot, mixture things, this mixed with that. It's so, we can discuss it for a long way. I'm just going to go over the main halachot. Okay, if you have any questions, you may ask. Okay, we'll discuss it later. There's some differences in the Jewish kitchen between Sephardi and Ashkenazi. And Sephardim could be lenient and Ashkenazim can be more strict, or vice versa. For example, the next thing to discuss is about dishwasher. So I have, let's say, in my house, one dishwasher. And I have one dishwasher. Okay? So, and I want to use it for dairy and meat. What should I do? Should I purchase 2 dishwashers? Should I purchase 3 dishwashers? Some houses, I know one house here, that they have 3 dishwashers. One for parve, one for dairy, one for meat products. The question is, I have one, and I have only room for one. Should I dedicate it only for dairy, only for meat, or for parve? What should I do? Or can I use it for dairy, meat, or parve? Or can I put both at the same time for the dishwasher to wash? We are clear with the question?
Yes.
You have any question to add to this question? I have at least one. Surprised you never asked me. People are here moving to the Eruv. They go to an apartment. It was not kosher before. They want to use the dishwasher. The dishwasher was used for non-kosher items. How you kosherize it? It's another question, right? Any more questions? No? We good? Okay. So, I can explain to you the whole process, how it works. I have the whole list here. It's going to take me maybe 10 minutes, but it's not my goal. It's not my goal. I just want to mention, in a nutshell, I will say what's really happening in the dishwasher. So it's a cycle, 1 or 2 or 3, depends on the option you choose. Hot, cold, an hour, a thorough, deep cleaning, pre-wash, whatever you choose. The dishes go through a process of washing it, then usually with hot, it's recommended, cleanse it well, and then the temperature around 131 to 158 Fahrenheit. Some on the easy, the quick one, the fast one will be around 55 Celsius, which is 131, or the 70 will be 158, which means it's really hot. Okay, it's not boiling, but it's hot. So, and then soap is released, special soap, some sort of detergent that is being released to the system to clean the dishes. We all familiar with that, right? I don't need to go to the details, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll start from the end. I would say that our rabbis are debating about it. The question is, if one can use dairy and meat dishes together at the same time. That's what we're dealing right now with. So, the rabbis are debating, Ashkenazi, among Ashkenazi, Sephardi, among Sephardi. So, according to the Sephardi, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef asking, and some others, yes, you can. You can put dishes, dairy, and meat together. And what's the reason? The reason is both of these dishes are swallowing what we call ta'am lifgam, or ta'am is a taste, pagum. Pagum, it means defective or foul or unpleasant taste. I mean the chemicals goes and destroy everything. So let's say you had a very nice, I don't want to discuss you, but just so I understand that, if you lick the plates after eating steak, what would you think? What would you feel on your tongue? The steak. It'll be cheesy taste, right? This detergent, this soap is destroying it. It's called pogem. Okay, make sense? Therefore, and since we're using such a soap and strong chemical, and he will destroy the taste. Therefore, it doesn't. Let's put it that way. It makes it more easier to say. Because we're using these chemicals, it doesn't disqualify it from being dairy to meat or meat to dairy, but they don't really mix into the dishes. Meaning now, because I mix it with dairy, the meat plates will not absorb the taste from the dairy because it's all full of chemicals. It was washed, and now with the soap, okay, so they going to be clean. One second. They're going to be clean, and we have no concern that they influence each other. So the dairy become meat, or meat become dairy, or they're going to become parve or whatever. because we're using this strong soap. This is an opinion by Rabbi Ovadia Yosef and some others. Some hold to Ashkenazim and Sephardim, and this is what I do in my house. I don't mix. I would do one cycle meat and one cycle dairy. Ashkenazim also, many permit that. Some says, no, you should have, you can do that, but it's best if you can afford only one dish, so you have a rack, like the tray, one for dairy, one for meat, or dedicated either dairy or meat. Most of the people use it for meat because dairy, there's only few, they can do it on the sink. It's really up to you. I'm just giving you the halacha. So someone wants to rely on Sephardim, or the rabbis that hold that you can put them together, you may do so. Okay? So, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef and other rabbis hold that you can put them together at the same dishwasher. Okay. Myself, I don't do that. You want to ask something?
So why to separate between the dishes?
Why we?
Yeah.
For that concern, because some have concern that if you put them together in a sink, you're not putting them right away with chemicals or you dip them in hot water. You just let them sit there all together.
But the closet, when you have
closet?
when you put it in before you eat, why you have?
No, you don't have to. It's just for an order. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's easy, so you won't mix. You remember, if you put them all together, you accidentally might take, a dairy plate and eat meat on it. So people, I think most of the Jews have separate spots for meat and dairy. Yes.
So it's only relying more on the fact that the soap will remove.
Yes, that's the main thing.
Relying on that.
Right.
The fact that we can put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
But if you use soap, can we assume that dishes are so clean to use either way? Or meat or dairy after they clean? Why we separate them if soap already took care of them?
You don't have to after they clean.
So
You don't have to, but it's the best thing to do, so you won't mix them later.
But does it matter the material?
Which means you put them together, all together mixed in the one closet. You open it, you want to eat something, you accidentally take. To me, it never happens, almost never happens, because I know dairy is in this side of the kitchen and meat is in the other side. When I want whatever, I go either right or left. Okay? And because we used to that it's so separate, from time to time I can find a fork that doesn't belong there. And I say, hey, who did that? It happens because, so we try even to have the sets looks different.
Yeah.
So you make everything different, you avoid problems. Make sense? Right?
Yeah.
Good. What about people that have one sink? One sink, no separation. You may use it. What about the sponge, scorched bright? You have to separate it. One for halakhic, one for fleshik. One dairy, one meat. Don't mix the two. If you accidentally use the halakhic for dairy for halakhic, it's not going to disqualify it. Because at the end of the day, we're using chemicals, remember.
Yeah.
But it's not recommended. At least have the sponge separated. And it's easy, it costs a few bucks. We avoid problems. Now, if one wants to kosherize, someone want to say something?
Yeah, I have a question. What about only one sink, and I have two sides, okay? And one I have a plate with meat, and the other I have a plate with dairy. The point is, somebody told me if just you put a running hot water, and the drain go to the one line, so using just water is a problem.
Right.
Because it mixes
Right.
the meat with
Right. Because hot water causes everything to open and absorb what's around it. Hot, okay? So this is why if you have to use one sink, you have to choose in the sink what to put and outside the sink. You do the separation outside. You understand? Not to mix them all together in the same place.
Yeah.
But you can use the sink. Sometimes that's a situation. You have one sink. Nothing else you can do. Okay? So That's about that. We'll get to later and discuss what's up with the sink. Is the sink dairy or is the sink itself is milchic or fleishik? Okay, so we'll discuss it. But in a nutshell, it's not a problem because you're running through it a lot of chemicals, so it shouldn't be a problem. How you kosherize a dishwasher? Many do that before Passover. They want to use the dishwasher through Passover, right? So what's the way? How you can kosher a dishwasher? Anybody have an idea?
Boil water somehow.
Boil water? Okay.
Cycle.
One cycle? Okay. You're both right. Well, first thing, you clean it thoroughly. Second thing, you do at least one cycle with chemicals, no dishes, and it should be on a hot. Choose the hot options. And that should be clarify and clean everything, and you may use it for Pesach. Especially clean the filter, make sure there's no chametz trapped over there, and you may use it for Passover. Okay? That's about that. Now, we're going to discuss some questions or situation that we can meet like MEET, right? In the kitchen, can face in the kitchen. Again, there's some terms that I'm pretty sure most of you guys won't even know what I'm talking about. I'll try to simplify it because I'm using the Hebrew language, but you need to be at least learn this fleishik, milchik, meat, dairy, basar, halav. It's basic, okay? Or pagum means that it's disqualified, or foul, or give it a bad taste. So, we're going to discuss a little bit. There's a whole book about it, and maybe it's under the category of kosher kitchen is the most complicated, I would say, is the laws of ta'arovot. Ta'arovot means mixed. What can be mixed, for example? Simple question, by the way, that a lot of dayanim in the Beit Din for conversion asking. You have a dairy food up in a pot and a piece of pork fell in. Can you eat what's in the pot or not?
No.
No is the wrong answer.
You can as long as.
What's the answer? Depends. It depends on what? What situation? Exactly. Batel b'shishim, exactly. So the amount against corresponding the non-kosher. So if it's 60 pieces more. Now I'm talking about liquidish things. You may eat. You may take out the piece of non-kosher burger that fell in, and you measure. You say this is 1 gram. Fell into 60 grams or more of whatever cooked there. Halakhically, you can eat. A lot of people will not, okay? But the question is a little bit tricky because they don't ask you what you would do. They ask you, what is the halacha? Please pay attention to that. Most of the people want to say they're sharing what they would do. Or someone wants to show that they're strict. No, I'm going to throw it away, even if it costs $1,000. Okay, that's not the question. The question is this kosher or not kosher? You got it? Okay. So it's something that's called batel b'shishim, annul on 60th, meaning 1/60th. Anything that is 1/60th and up, our sages calculated it that the piece that fell into it, or the liquid that is prohibited fell into that soup, doesn't have a power, loses power when it has 60 against it and up. Okay? In case you cannot calculate it, you go to a rabbi, explain the situation, and he will do the calculation for you. Huh?
By weight.
By weight, usually, yes. Now, Halacha can be different, depends on the person. What do you mean the person? You're Jewish or not Jewish? What's the person mean? It depends. It depends. For example, sometimes the rabbi can be a little bit more strict because you can see that you can afford it. If someone's really, really poor, so the rabbi will say, you can rely on the lenient opinion. You may have it, you may eat it. Don't throw the chicken, because the chicken they have once a week. What's going to tell them to throw it away? You find a way to tell them it's kosher. But for someone that can afford it, says, no, you can't do it. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we can lean on the lenient opinion. It's okay. It depends on the rabbi, the community. He knows the people, and it can happen. It's rare, but it happens. Now, there's a lot of situation that happens in the kitchen on a daily basis. You won't even imagine. I'm going to bring some examples, and you'll see that it happens to you. Because it happens to me more than once. Especially in a house that have, Baruch Hashem, thank God, a lot of kids. Especially when we have little kids. They're mixing stuff, they're putting this not in the right place. And now you are wondering, what should I do? Should I throw the food? Can I eat it? Don't eat it. For example, something, for example, to discuss, I took a knife that I usually cut steaks with, and I took a piece of bread and I smear a butter. So the butter is real butter, not butter-like. Dairy using a meat knife. What should I do? Should I throw the meat? What happened with this knife now? This kind of situation. I took a spoon that belongs to the meat, and I what do you call this? Mix, thank you. Mix coffee with milk. And I take it out, I'm about to drink. Oh my goodness, I used for the meat. Did I disqualify the coffee with milk? It happens all the time. All right? So we need to see what the halacha has to say about it. Let's start with a cold meat piece. A piece of meat, cold, fell into a pot with a cold milk. It happens in the refrigerator. You put something on the top, and a little from, chicken drumstick fell into it. Look. You have a hope of it. What are you going to do? You lift it, and now it's dripping. Should I throw both away? What's the halacha? So the halacha says, you may take this drumstick, right? Wash it with water, and you may eat it. Why? Because it's cold. It's cold. You need to wash it well. You want to be strict? It's up to you. You can give it to someone else. You have someone works for you, or you have a friend, neighbors, and non-Jews, they can eat anyways. So it's up to you, but this is the halacha. From here, what you want to do is up to you. You're not being forced to eat it. But halachically, it's okay. It depends on the food that fell into the milk, or milk fell on it. In this case, they are both cold. Okay? What if I have a burekas, or burekas like empanada, that is fleishik, it's with meat, and it fell into the milk, or milk fell into it. Can I do the same? No, I can't, because it's already absorbed it. It's like a sponge. Gotta throw it away. What about a burger, a cold burger fell into it? Can I eat the burger? The answer is no, because it's grounded and it's going to go in between. Gotta throw it away. You can wash it, they're soft and they will absorb the milk, therefore you can't wash them. Now, a piece of meat fell into a hot milk. Now, I need to explain what hot means. There is a term, you want to write it to yourself, because this term you will hear a lot. It's called Yad Soledet Bo. Yad Soledet Bo. It's hot. It's hot. It means that the heat level, I don't call it hand recoils. You know, you're like, it's around. It's debatable among the rabbis. It's around 43 Celsius to 49 Celsius, or to 110 to 120 Fahrenheit. It means if you fell, that's the terminology. If it falls on a back of a baby's hand, it will cause like a little bit burn.
Yeah.
So we have three ways in Hebrew to describe, main way to describe liquid that is liquid, the status of a liquid. Either kar means cold, cold, or it's hot, you call it ham, kar, hot, cold, or in between it's called posher. Posher, it's in between. So this is almost close to posher. Like a pusher, someone that pushes, posher. Posher is around that status, a little bit less. Why do I need to know that? Because if it's hot, it will cook it. It will absorb. If it's cold, I know there's not a problem. But if it's in between, this is in the twilight zone. Now it gets me confused. I don't know what to do. Okay? So this is more or less their degrees. And it's called Yad Soledet Bo. Yad Soledet Bo means it's too hot that I won't put my finger in it. Or if it fell on my hand, it can cause some sort of a burn. Definitely on the baby's skin. This is just a term to understand the concept. Okay? You know where is in our body, maybe which part in our body is more sensitive for heat? Before the tongue. The lips. Hashem created in such a smart way, so with your lips, you won't burn the tongue. Okay? If you want, by the way, to check someone's temperature, the child temperature, you check it with the lips, not with the hand. Your hand is hot. With the lips, you can tell better, you can sense better if the child has fever or not. Right? Hashem created in such way that we have the lips, so we can protect our body from hot. If you can pass the lips, you can definitely pass the tongue. And Hashem put the nose here. Why Hashem didn't put the nose here and nose here? Here, so I can smell before I eat if it's spoiled. Makes sense, right? So the case is as follows. We have a piece of a meat that fell into a hot milk that is in a pot. What you can do, you remove the meat right away, and now you have to measure. If there is 60 against it, if the piece of meat is 10 grams, I'm going to use grams or ounce, whatever you want, just an example. 10 grams. So you must have at least, in the pot, at least how much? 600 grams, at least. Okay? So if you boiling, I don't know, a whole gallon, you're definitely okay. Okay? Definitely okay. Then you can drink the milk, but if it's less than 60 times more, the milk is disqualified. You got to pour it. You don't give it to the dog. You don't share it with anybody. You don't sell it to the sink. Okay? It's under the category of cooking meat and milk together that is prohibited. How many prohibition we have in the Torah against mixing milk and meat together?
3 times.
3 times. One is bishul. Bishul means cooking. Second one is no. You're going to know this. You can't cook it. That's prohibition. Even if someone will ask you to cook for him, you can't. The second thing is
Don't get
You can't benefit from the mixing.
can benefit.
benefit.
Meaning, sell it, give it to your dog, give it to a neighbor even as a gift. And what is the third one?
Eat it.
Eat it. You can eat it. Asur ba'achila behana'a. Okay. You can eat it yourself, right? We good? Remember that. This is why you should not mix milk and meat together. Appears in the Torah 3 times. Each place for something else, prohibits something else. So again, don't eat, don't get benefit, and
Don't eat, cook.
don't cook.
Oh.
You can cook it. So it's not limited to a big pot and using it. It could be taking a burger, kosher burger and kosher cheese. Put them together. When the cheese will be melting into the meat, it's considered cooking.
Yeah.
Baking is considered. Frying is all considered under the category of cooking. What if someone says, listen, I'm not eating it. I just want to work in a restaurant that serve that. And it's a non-kosher restaurant. I had this question a few years ago. Someone couldn't find a job. He got an offer to work as a waitress. It's a non-kosher restaurant that they're serving also cheeseburger. And he came to ask if he can work there. They're paying pretty good and the tips are good and he is in the time that he can't pay even rent. So it was a special. So you should know it's permitted under some circumstances. For example, it's permitted for the time being so he can get off his problems, so he puts himself together. Just make sure that he himself won't put the cheese over them. He can serve, okay? It raises other questions and other problems. What if he will serve a Jewish man or a woman or whatever that they're not supposed to eat non-kosher now? He's like an agent. He's in between. It's going to be his sin. He's not saying. It raises a lot of questions there. But if you can choose other profession or work in a kosher industry, it will be much better. But you see from here that sometimes the halacha can be very creative in order to help in certain situation. Okay? There is something that's called koha de etera, the power of permitting. It's greater than the power of prohibiting. You heard that before? The power to permit is greater than the power to prohibit. Why? To prohibit, it's easy to say no. When you want to say yes, okay, find me ways to find. How can I do it? Right? It's complicated. That was one of the great things with Rabbi Ovadia Yosef. When everybody on many things says no, he digged into the halacha with a lot of questions and responses from other rabbis through the history, 200, 300, 500 years ago, and he was able to gather a lot of opinion that says no, whatever he says, answer about this question is actually permitted. The opinion of this rabbi and this rabbi, this rabbi. He has the power to prove that it's permitted, versus just saying no, you can't. It's easy. Everybody can say no. So as we're saying, the power to permit is high. It's stronger and higher than the power to prohibit. Make sense? We good? Okay. So going back to the case, 1/60th against it is good. Because our sages estimated every food that is mixed in cooking, that it was boiled, cannot affect and cannot give the taste if it's 60 against it, except if we're dealing with spices. Spices, even a little bit, can give taste. Or if it's a dry. Okay, I have dry, I don't know, let's say I have shawarma that is dry. Okay, and another piece fell into it. It's relatively easy to find out. It's a different color, it looks different. You need to remove it, right? Versus something that is cooked. Okay, let's say a meat soup, few drops fell into a boiled milk. So you can't tell, it's already mixed. But when it's dry, it's a different category. You may be able to remove it. So 160 won't be good enough. I want to clarify again, a person should not rely on his own opinion. If you're not knowing really these halachot thoroughly and deeply, just ask a rabbi on these cases. Otherwise, you will do a mistake. This is related to a beef that fell into a milk. But if it's a chicken, okay, if it's a chicken that fell into a hut, our sages saying that if you found out there is not 600 grams against it, but only 400 grams, since it's a chicken, it will be permitted, even under 60th. Why? Because the Torah forbade beef. The Torah, there is no mention whatsoever about chicken. And you can even find in the Talmud more than one opinion that says if you eat chicken, you don't have to wait 6 hours. You can eat immediately after that milk. The Torah prohibits beef product. But we accept upon ourselves the more strict opinion for a variety of reasons, that we keep 6 hours even for chicken products. Okay? But here in this case, it's an example, it can be lenient because it's chicken, and this is a rabbinical prohibition, not a Torah prohibition. You can be more lenient. Usually, in cases, you can be lenient if it's a rabbinical law. When it's Torah law, we have to be very strict. We can't change anything. So the Torah mentioned meat. You should not cook kid in its mother's milk. Kid means K-I-D. Okay? K-I-D means young goat, I think. Calf. Yeah. I have to skip a lot because there's a lot of terms and expressions. Someone wants to ask a question?
So a chicken cheeseburger, will it be what?
Chicken consider halakhically as beef. But for the case of the mixing that it fails and you want to save, right, so the sages didn't want to be too strict because they care about your financial, so you won't lose. So I can say in that case, you can be lenient. It doesn't have to be 60 against it, it can be 40 against it. Because it's chicken. The Torah has to be 60.
Is egg and chicken the same thing?
No. Kid means beef.
No, I mean, let's say cooking egg in a butter. Can you do that or you cannot?
What do you mean egg in a butter?
We cook together.
Okay. The egg is parve.
So egg is not.
No problem. Eggs are always parve.
So
You know what?
chicken and stew-
Hold on. You know what parve means? Okay. So you have three things. You have dairy food, and you have meat food, right? And there's something in between. It's called parve. Parve means it's food that it's not dairy and it's not meat. Who can give me an example of parve things? Bread, vegetables.
Bread sometimes you have butter and...
Right. I'm talking about bread that it doesn't say dairy.
So egg is a...
Egg, it's parve. Huh? Neutral. That will be okay. Make sure the symbol says, there is a kosher sign. One of the most common you see is the OU. O, a U in the middle, right?
Yes.
means it's United Orthodox. United Orthodox. But there's many of them. There's the DK here in Dallas, and there's many of them. Next to each of them, you'll find 3 signs at least. For example, you can see O-U-D. D stand for dairy. O-U-P. No. O-U-P. Pesach. Passover. Passover. O-U parve. That's parve. That's the neutral. Or you can find
What about the D?
O-U and it says D-E.
What if it?
D-E. What's D-E? Dairy equipment. What does that mean? It was not cooked. It was not, it's the ingredient, you'll see that they don't have milk in it or any dairy product. It's just the processing, right, in the factory was in the machine. After they clear the line and they clean it, they ran pasta, for example, on the same machines, and they want to point that it was in dairy equipment. For us, as Sephardim or Yemenite, it's still considered parve. But some more strict say, I know the machine was clean, but since you used ice cream in it before and it's still dairy, I would like to separate. Fine. We have to let them know. All right. Also, it's for people that they're allergic. So for them, it might be a problem. So they need to know that it was cooked in a dairy equipment. Sometimes a 0.0 something can affect that person. Okay? Someone in the Zoom want to ask something?
Yes. When you just see the just the U with nothing else next to it, should we treat that as?
I don't know what you're referring to. You need to send me a picture because there's a lot of confusing symbols that some of them not even a kosher symbol. Some of them it's fake. You can go to a OU website and get from there a lot of symbols, a list of recommended. I cannot tell you, for example, if you show me, I will not tell you if it's kosher or not kosher. I will tell you recommended or not recommended. Okay? For example, triangle K. Triangle K. A lot of product has triangle and inside the K. So I can't tell you it's not kosher because they can sue me. Okay? Who are you to determine it's not kosher? So what we say, it's not recommended. That's it. And you understand the message. Okay? Some product of K triangle are kosher. For example, the raisins. But raisins is fruit. Some products are approved by the chief rabbinical Israel Vad of Kashrut in Israel. But you'll see it says K. For example, I saw some chocolate that come from Europe mainly. You said the K. Well, my kids showed me, it was in the summer in Israel just recently. How about the K is kosher? So I looked at it and says, well, the Rabbanut, the chief rabbinic of Israel, added their stamp to show that this product, nonetheless, it's K, triangle K, it's kosher because they checked. In America, you find in many products this triangle K. You have to be careful, it's not recommended. Unless there's another symbol next to it. So, okay? This is why it's important to ask. There's a Vad here, the rabbi. You can send questions, and Bezrat Hashem will be able to give you.
What do you know about double aleph?
It's problematic. It comes from Mexico. Some products are okay, and there's some issues. I remember I asked that about guava juice, and there's many on juices and stuff like that. Yeah. We used to drink it many years ago. Someone told us that it's a problem. That was back then, and ever since we can almost never. There's a lot of candies with the double A. Maybe they're good. Again, you have to check someone from Mexico or the VAD here. You take a picture, send to the rabbi. You can send me, and Bezrat Hashem pass it along. Okay. Any question about that? So we've learned about parve. Remember, parve is the neutral. Okay? Yes.
Tam-tam, the challah, and the bread with the D. Is dairy?
Okay, so it could be dairy. Look at the ingredients. Sometimes you can learn from that. I would not judge by it if you don't really know how it works, because sometimes it says dairy, and then you see all the ingredients and you can't really understand, because some of it it's coding, some of them it's E something, you don't even know what it's saying. But nowadays they adding at the very bottom, also added, and then they will say oil, this, or milk. It's for the for people that have allergies, to be careful. So maybe you can learn from that. If you're not expert, just treat it as dairy. I don't remember now an example, but I saw recently my kids show me something that it says D, but it was not dairy. There's not even single ingredients in it. I forgot what was it, because I read the ingredients. There's no any milk product. There's terminology. Sometimes it's litstein. It's called litstein, for example. It's a dairy product, but you don't know that litstein or other. They give it different names. So just treat it as dairy, unless you heard from the VAD differently.
I was going to ask. I noticed that the almond milk has dairy, but it's supposed to be almond milk.
Okay.
And I'll see the D on there.
Right.
Is that an example?
I saw, for example, on what you mentioned, it says non-dairy, and then it says D. It says on it non-dairy, and it's only for almond, but they still consider it as dairy. It's not a dairy, most likely. It's not dairy. It's 100%. נראה, מה זה היה בפרודקט שהיה כתוב דיירי, אבל זה לא דיירי? על החלב שקדי, מה זה היה? כן, אבל זה לא דיירי באמת, זה רק מבלבל. This is one example. So they show me, the kids show me something I don't remember, but that's a good example. Okay, if it will contain milk, they will have to say it for an allergenic, people that suffer from that. Okay, we have 2 more minutes. So you need to understand, when you mix food or you mix utensils or dishes, it's not only the problem with the food. Now what we're going to do with the dish, the pot, spoon, fork, the knife, you also need to fix that, right? Something that we will learn along the way. It's important to know these halachot, so to avoid problems. Okay, there's also a term called to add. I'm trying to simplify it and translate it. To add to the prohibition. For example, someone want to trick the system. He saw that a piece of meat fell into the milk. Immediately saw it's not a 60 yet. So what are you going to do? So he wanted to take more milk and add. Now we have 60 against. Now we can take it and use the milk. To trick the system. You understand what I'm saying here? According to the Torah, it's not, most cases, it's not a good thing to do. And certain cases, it's okay to do. I don't want to confuse you, but just don't do it. Okay? You won't know, for whatever reason. It's called, in order to annul the prohibition. In any case that something fell to a posher, it's like a medium, less than yad soledet ball, less than 40, no, what's the measurement we give? Less than 110 Fahrenheit, it's considered cold. Up to 110, it's still considered cold. Nonetheless, you feel it's warm. It's under the category of cold. You don't have to throw anything. If something fell into a kli sheni, even if it's hot, it's still considered okay, and you can eat it. What is kli sheni? It's a term that everyone here must know. What's kli stand for? Vessel or utensil. מה זה ראשון? אחד. First. Sheni, שתיים. Sheni. Kli sheni, second vessel. I have here two. You see it? I don't know if you'll be able to see here. I have here two. This is one, this is two. The one is the pot that we cooked in. Or the one is on the fire. When I pour from 1 to 2, this is called kli sheni, and it loses its power. Our sages hold that it doesn't have the power to cook, even if it's hot. Remember this term. So even a piece of meat fell into the kli sheni, it's not considered kli rishon, and even if it's hot, you can still eat the milk, drink the milk, or the meat. Okay? You don't need. You need a book?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need any books. Sit down.
Oh, no more book?
No, you may be seated. We don't need. Okay? Any questions? It's related to Shabbat as well. You see people, they don't put immediately under the pot because the pot is the kli rishon. It has the power to cook. If I open it and throw something in it, let's say I throw in it a piece of corn, it will cook it. It's standing on the fire, or it's connected to the electricity. It's hot. But if I put the piece here on the kli sheni, the second, it doesn't have the power. So on Shabbat, what a lot of people do, you will see that they go to the pot, to the urn. Okay, it's 1. They take a cup, it's 2, and they pour it to 3. According to all opinion, all rabbis, Sephardic, Ashkenazic, Yamenite, number 3 has no power whatsoever. Because some debates on number 2 even. So it's still hard. Because when you remove it from one place to another, it loses its power, it loses heat. And now it's staying in 2 or 3, definitely 3, it doesn't have the power to cook. So some say, you want to make yourself coffee, how you can cook the coffee on Shabbat. So do it on the 3rd cup. But we hold that's not a problem because the coffee, the instant coffee or Nescafe, is already cooked. It's cooked in the factory. And the rule says whatever is already cooked cannot be cooked again. I mean, it can, but it's already cooked. We don't have problems. But then there's dairy, and then is it? I'm sorry, Jay. Dry or it's to talk about it on Shabbat. Laws of Shabbat, not here. Shabbat, you want to take soup from the refrigerator. Can you rewarm it or heat it? So it depends. It's liquidish, not liquidish. Sephardi, Yamenite, Ashkenazi, it's different than Menagim. I don't want to confuse you, but Judaism is confusing. If you don't learn it, you're definitely breaking Shabbat. One of the rules, one second, Moshe, one of the rules says, if you don't know, avoid it till you ask question. That's the best way. So, in regards to the soup, if the most of the ingredients are dry, a lot of potatoes and chickens, you're okay. Especially for Yemenite. But Ashkenazim are more stringent about it, and Sephardim are more lenient. But it's a law of Shabbat that you can read and learn yourself. Yes?
Why?
What's your name?
Andrew Barton. Why is Ashkenaz more strict than Sephardic?
I don't want to insult anybody, but I'll give you an answer after class. Okay?
So there's no
No. It depends on the culture you came from. It depends on the custom you had. It depends on varies. It depends on many things, okay? Let me just summarize it by saying that it's easier to say no. Okay?
Say yes.
And say yes, and then try to prove it now. And give me a proof of this and that. Sometimes Friday will be more strict on certain things. In general, you're right, Ashkenazi more strict. For example, Yemenite are the strictest on meat thingy. You have the process of kosherizing meat, it's a little bit above everyone else, because they're following the Rambam.
Shechting?
different, not shechting. Meaning eating it, before eating it, you have meat, for example, that you buy from Tam Tam, okay? And it's kosher. You can put it on a grill or you can cook it. For Yemenite, you must do tzimita. You must take it to a boiling water, put it in, take out. We want to make sure that no blood will come out. But according to my opinion, there's no more blood because it was salted already. So it's some sort of strictness that the Yemenite has. Okay, that's an example. Okay.
What I'm saying is, I'm Sephardic, but I'm not Sephardic. What that means is either...
They're different. There's Ashkenazi that's Sfard, and Ashkenazi that are Ashkenaz. It's related mostly to the nusach of tefillah. You have the Siddur here. All the brown are Ashkenaz. Same one are black. They are Sfard.
Yeah, that's what I have at home. It's Schottenstein.
Schottenstein, fine. It's mostly the nusach, the either additions in the tefillah or the kaddish is but you need to follow the Ashkenazi halacha. It's still related to you.
The tefillin are Sfard, but not Sephardic.
Yeah, it's a different way of wrapping it. Not here, but here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We're talking about kosher kitchen. Okay. Let me just finish it because I just finished with this part and we're done for today. I'm already 10 minutes over. So we talked about the kli sheni, the second utensil. Okay. If you saw in the shul the people pouring water from rishon to sheni and then taking it to the cup, now you know why. Because according to all opinion, the third cup has no power to cook anything, so it's not considered like when cooking on Shabbat. Some says how you can cook on Shabbat when you put hot water on a tea bag. You're cooking the tea in it. You can cook on Shabbat. So you can do that according to all opinion on the third cup. Some hold the second, like we hold. Second, it's okay. And Rambam hold also whatever was cooked before is not considered cooking here. Even in the factory, when they take the tea, they go through some baking, go through some process. And baking considered cooking, so it's not a problem on Shabbat. But we're not talking about Shabbat here, so I just mentioned that to understand, so you understand the concept of seconding.
Rabbi,
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so the kli sheni, we're not going to actually, like in the case of a tea bag, like you said, we're not going to actually put the tea bag in the first vessel. The tea bag would be in the third vessel.
Of course. You don't. No one put in the first vessel because the first vessel is the one that connected to the electricity. It's the urn itself, okay, or it's on the fire. It's definitely prohibited. You may put it on the cup, the second number 2, the one that you're pouring the hot water into, or best, according to all opinion, in the third cup. Did I answer your question?
Thank you. Yes, it did. Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, who is Chantel? Okay, a new student.
I'm Adrian's wife, Chief Rabbi.
Who?
I'm Adrian's wife.
Oh, Adrian's wife. Shalom Aleichem. Okay, we'll say that. Any questions? We're going to talk, Be'ezrat Hashem, next week about using spoons, mixing spoons, knife, and all that what we mentioned in the very beginning. You need to understand, laws that are related to kosher kitchen need to be learned on a daily basis. It's something that we're practicing and we're doing every day. And I'm sure today, many of us learn new things, and now you're going to change some stuff in the kitchen. You have to be very, very careful about it. The more kosher food, kosher ways you eat and drink, you purify yourself. It goes through the system, through the blood system, and the life are dwelling in the blood. Ki hadam, it says ki hadam, hu hanefesh. Hanefesh, the soul dwells in the blood. It's a level from the neshama, and is affected by the food you eat. People used to say, you are what you eat, right? There's truth in it. If you want to make one of the tricks in the IDF, when I want to make the guarding dogs on the dogs wild, they feeding them with raw meat, right, that was not salted. They eat the blood and they make them wild. Okay, so the more you're careful about koshering your food, eat kosher food, it makes you more pure, and you're able as a vessel to accept and absorb more and more Torah and Kedusha. You will see, you'll be able, I'm going to tell you something strange, but it works. The more you keep kosher and strict about it, you see that you're able to understand Torah better and faster.
Yes.
There's no screens, no blockage, no closed doors. Yes?
Can the kosherizing that I use be used by somebody else?
Can
The kosherizing that I use, may I allow someone else to use the kosherizing after me?
Of course, the kosherizing can stay on the. Everybody can use it.
Recycle.
It can be just in a vessel that everybody can use, no problem. Usually in the shul, you'll see there's already kosherizing there by the time you come to shul, because everybody uses it. It's a cup by the urn that's already, you see, liquid in it. Someone used it before you. On behalf of Ohav Israel Foundation, I want to thank everybody that participated in this Torah class. It's very important that you share this Torah class with other people, bring more people to study and learn Torah. Our next class, Be'ezrat Hashem, is Shabbat, 9:30. We're going to have a very interesting topic. You don't want to miss it. And I want to wish you a Shavua Tov, a great Parnasah. There's another class after me, 8 o'clock, same link on the Zoom, about the weekly parasha, Rabbi Liron. Shavua Tov.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.